Now, going back, I'm going to make it short. We live in Ordot, and we shelter in by the time like the American going to liberate Guam. That was July, or middle part, or last part of June or July 1st, some around there. We moved to Asinan, and we have to shelter in a cave. So then one time, the Japanese assistant, Pedro Goge Cruz is the assistant of the Japanese, told him to go around and tell the people to right now, and that was midnight at night, it's raining so hard, tell the people to move, go to Manenggon, right now, immediately. So then my grandmother is in fear. She was sick, but she told us that she's not going anywhere. She's just going to stay right there in the cave. So then Pedro insists, you guys better go, leave right now. And then the rest of us start marching out. We march all the way to Chalampago. Chalampago we shelter at Valenzuela little ranch because it's raining so hard. Then after the rain is calmed down, we proceed up to Zonya, up to Manenggon. Now, as a matter of fact, my grandmother was sick and with fear. Before we crossed the river to the other side, my grandmother died right here around this area. She died. And the rest of us were okay. We survived. We crossed the river. But then, when we crossed the river, we have the coconut shelter leaves for shelter. And some people died right next to us. We lived together with a corpse, because some people died and we can't do anything about it. Died from maybe health, but wasn't injured from any bullet. Anyway, the water, if you're gonna get water, me and my brother will go to, we cannot go to the river because the Japanese, we're afraid the Japanese will, we were warned not to go to the river. So we stopped there, right there in the middle of the mud. We have to get the water on top of the mud and clear it until it's clear, then we can drink it because we need water. And the food that we eat, we cannot go and get breadfruit or coconut because a lot of people, they're doing the same thing. The coconut are very nothing. It's old, picked, everything. So we eat rice to survive, rice, and sometimes we chew it with the coconut. Raw rice. And then July 21, some guys, men, coming around whispering, the Americans are here, the Americans are here. And they're across the river. But don't stay quietly. Don't let the Japanese know that the Americans are here. We're all going to be killed. So we plan to move quietly and march to where the American is. My mother again expecting a baby. She cannot go, so my mother and father was held hostage by the Japanese. They cannot leave the camp. So we proceed to, we follow the American up the hill and mountain toward Agat. And when we halfway up in Agat, I lost all my brothers and sisters. I was very alone. I'm alone by myself. So I asked the elderly person to, can I go with you? Because I lost my brothers and sisters. There, I had maybe someplace. I couldn't find them. So we proceed to Agat. We walked toward Agat. And when we got to Agat, this lady told me, said, why don't you go around and look for your family? So I did. I walked around, a lot of people lining up for food. But then I couldn't find my family, my brothers and sisters. So then I went back to the lady, and the lady said, if you cannot find your family, why don't you go with me? I'm going to ride on that tugboat right there. Why don't we go to Bradley down? Maybe you'll find them there, because they're all separate. So we climbed the tugboat. A lot of people climbed there, hanging on the side of the tugboat. I climbed up there with the lady, and we proceed down to Bradley. When we got there, all we see is a lot of dead body covered with canvas down there in Bradley by Anigua. Well, that's where the cemetery, I think, now. So I got down, and the lady again said, why don't you walk around and see if you can find your brothers and sisters? So I walked around. I passed like maybe 3-4 tents, and I heard my little brother crying. He was sick. So I peeped in the door of the canvas, and I found them. And I'm just so grateful that I found them. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't have my mom and dad, because they were here they were all hospitalized by the Japanese. And that's all I can say, because I'm going to cut it short, because Father God's going to say the Mass. I wish you pray for me too, because sometimes I cannot handle it. If I think back the bad memories, I start crying. And I'm all by myself now with 12 of us. I'm alone. I'm the only survivor out of all the family that I have. Thank you very much.